guys, welcome to Big Sister. Just want to get on here, guys, and talk to you about something that I talked about earlier today. And we're going to talk about something that says, if you were there, you're guilty. If you were there, if you witnessed it, you saw it, you were hanging around with these people when something happened, you're guilty of it. Just because you're young and just because you're just a teenager does not mean you're going to be any less accountable. The decisions that you make at 10 and 11 and 12 is going to affect the 16, 17, 18-year-old you. The choices that you make at 18 sets the stage for the 20-year-old you. And the things that you do at 20 through 23 is going to set the stage for the 28, 30-year-old you, and so on and so forth. You know, in the Bible, they had kings who were as young as 8 years old. And some, I believe, were in their teen years. Now, granted, they probably did have some sort of an overseer. Forgot the official names that they would call them. Okay? But nevertheless, they were still kings and sitting on a throne. So what that means is no matter what age you are accountable for your actions and for your choices. You can be at a party and something happens at that party. And you notice when the police comes, everyone is being questioned. And ironically, what can happen is you can end up going to court and being charged because you were there. You can be charged and you can end up going to jail and doing even prison time if you were in a car hanging around with a group of people when someone did something that ended up in a fatality or someone being hurt. You're guilty because you were there. You're guilty because you were hanging with a bunch of guys and a girl came over to the house, something happened, you were in the house. You can be guilty for hanging with some girls you thought they were just playing around and you thought they were just going to, maybe just talk mean to a girl, but something ends up happening to this girl on your watch while you're there. You're guilty by association. If something happens and you were there, you can be found guilty of it. And sometimes your name is just in that whole scandal and you find that your reputation is ruined. You never did anything, but because you were friends with the guys who raped a girl or the guys who beat up someone and they died or they were now permanently disabled because you were friends with them and you were in the car, you hung around them or people saw you with them a lot, they are now labeling you and looking at you a certain way. And let's say that you're on a football team or you're on a cheerleading team or you're really doing some things in your life. You can end up no longer being able to do those things because of your affiliations. You're never too young to start making the right decisions. You know when something is right and when something's wrong. You know who you're hanging around and who you're not and what they're doing, that if it's right or not. Just because people are laughing about it, just because they're joking about it, and because you didn't touch anything and you didn't do anything and you didn't say anything, doesn't mean that you're any less guilty. You have to look at your character. What's making you want to hang around these people? Why would you hang around someone and a group of people who are hurting other people, who are teasing other people, who are making fun of other people, who's throwing away people's things, tossing their backpacks, hiding their backpacks, taking things. They're looking for their glasses. They're looking for their shoes. They're looking for their uniform. And you know what happened. You're there. You didn't do anything. You may even feel sad for the person, but you don't say anything. A lot of times it's because there's something going on with you. You have to think, are they doing things that you just don't have the courage to do? Or is it that you're so afraid of not having them or so afraid that they begin to turn on you that you go along with them? These are things that you have to face and be willing to make the choice. Sometimes, and I've been there, having been in elementary school and then middle school and then high school, everything seems like it's it's not trivial. It is so paramount at that moment The guy who likes you, the guy who doesn't like you, the girl who likes you, the girl who doesn't like you. Who's your friend, who's not? Who are you going to walk home with? Who are you going to eat lunch with at school? These are paramount. These are big moments in your life. But you don't realize these are phases in your life that you're going to pass through, and everything, and you're going to move on to different things, and it's not going to matter as much anymore. So don't be afraid to stand up for what is right. It's rare. But understand, when you say, hey, guys, I'm not going to go, or I'm not going to do this, you have to think that what you're actually doing is you're securing your future. You're securing your name. You're securing your reputation. Because there's a lot of things that you'll experience in life that's coming that can be changed based on the choices and the things that you do now. It's not enough that you just didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I didn't touch him. I didn't touch her. I didn't say that. I didn't do that. But were you affiliated? Were you there? Because that alone makes you guilty because of who you're with. Believe it or not, they're nice kids at school. Believe it or not, they're respectable kids at school. They fade into the background because the ones who's loud and jumping on the desk and laughing and wearing the football jackets and on the team, they seem right now to be the loudest because everybody's paying attention to them. But if you made that decision of, hey, I'm not going to do that anymore, you'll find that you will have friends. They're friends, and they're people who are quiet and they don't mess with people. But I guess they're the ones that will get picked on, right? And maybe that's what you're afraid of. But you have to start making tough decisions now when you're young and when you're a child, when you're a teenager. Because if you don't overcome those fears now and be willing to lose some friends, maybe get made fun of for a bit, it's easier said than done. But these are the tools that you're going to need, because when you get older, you're going to be an adult that's not going to be able to speak up. You're going to be an adult that's going to be sitting quiet at the cubicle at work. You're going to be that boss that, well, you're either going to abuse your authority or you're not going to be able to be fair because you don't want to make anyone mad. You see, this stuff will follow you through your life. Make the right choices. Listen to your mom and dad. Sometimes your mom and dad may seem, oh my gosh, you're always telling me what I cannot do. And sometimes you may want to say, well, you did that. That's not the point. Mom and dad may have done those things when they were younger, but they're in different times. Mom and dad may have made different mistakes or made some mistakes when they were younger. And that's all the reason why that they can tell you. They have every right to tell you now because they've been there, done it. They made the mistake and they don't want to see you make those same mistakes. Secure your future. Protect your future. The future CEO, boss, executive, the person that you're going to be, being able to create wonderful things through technology and engineering, you can ruin that person's life through the choices that you make now with who you're hanging with. Because there's some people that you're hanging with, they're not going to go far because they're choosing to go through all the red flags. They're choosing to just bolt through all the warnings. And you just being a friend, just hanging with them. They're going to take you down that path. And the boss that you would have been, the CEO, the executive that you would have been, the future Elon Musk and beyond that you are going to be, that is robbed of you. And that's taken from you. Right now, you can't see yourself that way because you're a kid. You may look at your surrounding and say, well, I'm from a poor background. No one cares about me. No one is thinking about me. No, think above that. Focus on your lessons. Focus on your studies. Because we have many stories that we read about people who came from abusive relationships, abusive households, single parent homes. They were living on the streets. They were living in cars. These things happened. They didn't have any clothes. They didn't have hardly any food to wear, food to eat, and decent clothes to wear. And you know what? They focused and they continued and they made choices. They decided to change the direction in which they're going in. And now they're doing great things today. Watch who you're hanging with and make better choices for your life. All All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. Don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe to this channel. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.